everybody. I'm doing the 12 o'clock news today.
Oh, who says?
Tiffany.
Oh. So the new queen of broadcasting has finally graced us with an appearance.
Mm-hmm. She showed up a little while ago, said she was tied up with some project at the brownstone.
Mm-hmm. Probably deciding what dress to wear. Takes a great deal of time to be so overdone.
Now, be a nice cat, Amanda. Wait a minute, I thought Jim Sanders was doing the noon news.
Jim Sanders was doing the noon news until Tiffany sent him out on assignment, so I'm filling in.
What's wrong with her? You don't send an anchor person out to do an assignment during his broadcast. That kills the ratings. Doesn't she know that the viewers like to see the same person doing the news day after day after day?
Derek, I didn't think you were in charge anymore.
Well, maybe it's just a habit. But, you know, this studio is just being leased to Miss Tiffany Hill. I mean, you know, I created a lot here, and I don't want her ruining it, and then turning around and saying she doesn't want to play the game anymore.
I love it when he gets angry.
Yeah, well, where is she?
She's in your office.
Oh, really? Doing what? Having herself a manicure?
Derek, she is actually attacking your typewriter, writing a story that she wants to see on the air on the noonday news.
Oh.
Jenny, you better take your place. It's 10 seconds to air.
Excuse me, my set vacate.
I didn't even get the idea until I heard all this business about the missing weather boy. I'm sure it's the best thing for the children, dear.
Switzerland, Lila? I mean, can't we possibly send them someplace a little closer?
Well, none that would ensure their protection against news about their father.
I don't know. I really don't know. I think maybe I should just tell them about Alan, get it over with. I mean, they can't be protected forever, you know.
Oh, darling, I'm sure we haven't heard the whole story about Alan's disappearance. And, you see, if we tell the boys now one thing, it's only going to confuse them and, well, make it even worse for them when we give them another version.
Is there sufficient ice in the bucket, Mr. Quartermaine?
Oh, yes. Looks fine to me, Jennings.
I wanted you to know that Mr. Donnelly is in the den.
Thank you, Jennings.
I really am so grateful to you and to Edward. You've helped me out so much with this.
Well, you can thank us for the idea, Monica, but don't expect us to pay for it. We couldn't even send them to Ohio, much less Switzerland.
Well, you know how much we love our grandsons, dear. And since we can't afford to support them financially, I hope you'll at least give us the chance to give them our love and our guidance.
That means much more than money, Lila.
Well, we're just so sorry that you and the boys have had to go through this awful ordeal.
Well, so have you and Edward. I mean, you've suffered the same loss I have. And I really do think I should take a lesson from you. Both of you, I admire greatly. You've managed to just pick up the pieces and just go on with your lives.
Well, we all suffer in our own way, Monica.
Now, about this school in Switzerland, has Lila told you everything it has going for it? You know, they have a 5-star chef in the kitchen.
Well, I don't think that's really going to make much difference unless that chef can make a 5-star cheeseburger.
I'm sure the boys will have had their fill of cheeseburgers at summer camp.
Lila, it doesn't really make any difference about the cuisine. I mean, you can get cuisine anywhere. Why do they have to go all the way to Switzerland?
Well, it's not that far. The Concorde can get them to Paris in a few hours.
Oh, Edward, really? Food doesn't have anything to do with it. It's just, no matter where they go, I'm going to have to tell them something about their father. They're going to want to know why he's not there to see them off. The only thing I have going for me right now is that I have a week to try to think of something.
Oh, don't worry about it, darling. Edward and I will find the words for you. In fact, why don't we drive up to the camp together? And, well, it's been so long since we've been in the country, and it would do us all good. Don't you think so, dear?
I'm not so sure about that, dear. After everything I've been hearing, I'm not sure that we can make the trip.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the weather. Haven't you heard about that storm front that's moving in? I saw a weather map on one of the news broadcasts, and I swear that low-pressure area was right over Camp Wanahachi.
Well, that's where the boys are at summer camp.
Well, that's what I'm talking about.
I haven't heard anything about the weather.
Well, why don't we check on it? I mean, I'm sure the 12 o'clock news would have some kind of a report on the story. Is the TV still in the den, Monica?
Well, yes, Edward, but
Well,
no...
why don't I turn it on? I'll keep an eye on the weather situation. You can talk about the school that we've selected for Alan Jr. and Jason.
Don't be silly. Why don't I have Jennings keep an eye on the television set? There's no reason for you to go into the den and just hole up there all alone.
Look, you can't depend on servants in this kind of a situation. Anyway, Jennings has a job to do.
The City Council has approved funding for the Waterfront Revitalization Committee's plans for the harbor expansion. Fisherman's Village is going to become a reality. Thank you. This just came in off the WLPC News Wire. Michael Wiley, former entrepreneur and convicted felon, has spent the last 40 years of his life in New York State Prison. He was sent to prison on embezzlement charges stemming from his involvement in a scam that bilked millions from a wealthy Philadelphia family. Last week, Mr. Wiley died in the same prison cell that he's occupied for most of his adult life, while he still fought for parole or a new trial. To this tragic portrait of a once brilliant man, new sources have come to light that reveal Wiley was innocent of the charges brought against him almost 50 years ago. It seems that he never embezzled the money, had just borrowed it temporarily from the wealthy family he was accused of bilking. However, Mr. Wiley's chance for vindication came too late. He died alone and abandoned in his prison cell. We'll be back with more news following this commercial break.
Where, Edward?
They left.
I'm not going to spend the rest of my life living in a jail cell, caged like an animal. I'm not going to let them do this to me.
John, what are you talking about? Listen, we're not guilty of
No one is
anything.
going to lock me up, Monica.
Wait a minute, they can't put you in jail for anything. Wait just a minute, Sean. Is there something that you haven't told me?
I can't talk right now. I'll explain later, Monica.
Wait a minute, Sean. Wait, Sean.
You are a genius, Edward.
Tiffany, I've been thinking longer than most of the world has been breathing. I can't help but be good at it at this point in my life.
So Sean was affected by that little story in the news, huh?
Fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. There's nothing that terrifies that man more than being locked up in a jail cell. It's a crime of fear with him. He'll do anything to avoid it.
Even give back the Quartermaine fortune?
That's what we're shooting for. Look at him.
How can you be so cruel, huh?
What are you talking about?
This bird, he doesn't belong to be in a cage. He doesn't belong in a cage. He should be free like all of other God's creatures. That's where he should be, free.
Hey, it'd be kind of hard to keep him around if he wasn't in a cage, you know?
Come on, man, just let him go. Just let him go.
I paid a lot of money for this bird.
Just let him go. Let him free. Free. Let him be free. Free.
Sean, are you all right?
Tiffany, what are you doing here?
Well, I saw you come in here and you looked so distraught that I had to follow to make sure that you were all right.
Oh, it's just that I can't stand to see anything, man or animal cage. It's not the way it's supposed to be. It's not supposed to be that way.
Oh, you poor thing.
Hmm?
Sean, I had no idea that you were such a sensitive soul. Sir, you are upsetting my friend greatly. I mean, if you had a decent bone in your body, you would open up that door and let that little bird go free.
He wouldn't last a week if I let it go. It's lost its passion for survival.
Well, that's a fine thing to say. How would you like it if you had to spend the rest of your life behind bars?
I gotta get out of here. Here, this $20 bill. Now, that's yours if you let that bird go free. Fly. Hey, I'll see you later. I gotta get some air.
Hello, Dr. Quartermaine. I'm Ray Wharton. I don't know if you remember me.
Oh, well, you are one of the Quartermaine attorneys, aren't you?
Yes, I handle a good deal of business for your late husband and his father. I'm based in New York now. That's probably why we haven't run into each other.
Well, what can I do for you, Mr. Wharton?
Well, I'm here to deliver a letter. It's of the utmost importance.
Oh, well, Edward Quartermaine doesn't live here any longer. I can
Well,
give
the
you...
letter is for you, Dr. Quartermaine. And I suggest you read it right away. It's from your late husband, Alan Quartermaine.